What name will Prince Harry and Meghan Markle choose for the royal baby? Everything is all set. Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, have moved into their new home, requested privacy and are patiently waiting to welcome their first child into the world. And yet, we still don't know what they're planning to call the newborn. The parents-to-be have kept the gender of their little one under wraps, although a pink-themed baby shower in February could point to a girl, and rumors have even indicated she could be carrying twins, which basically means your guess is as good as any. But that hasn't stopped British betting agencies from placing odds on both male and female names. Ladbrokes has 4 to 7 odds on the baby being a girl, and 13 to 10 odds on the baby being a boy. Yet the focus is on the baby's name, and royal babies often have a lot of names. But which one will Harry and Meghan choose? Here's a look at some of the most favored choices and why they might matter. Girls. 1. Diana. Both Diana and Elizabeth harken back to intimate family names and each hold a 6-to-1 spot in the betting stakes. Diana is a clear and obvious favorite. Harry and William are sons of the late Princess Diana, and the People's Princess has remained a popular figure, even after her passing. Diana is not a traditional British family name, but such traditions do seem to be fading a bit. Prince Andrew and Sarah, Duchess of York, Harry and William's aunt and uncle, named their daughter Eugenie in 1990, while Princess Anne, Queen Elizabeth II's sister, named her daughter Zara in 1981. 2. Elizabeth. What could be more of an honor than to continue the royal line of Elizabeths? Queen Elizabeth I was the last of the 5 monarchs in the House of Tudor and is considered one of the greatest British rulers. Queen Elizabeth II, who will be the newborn's great-grandmother, is the longest-reigning British monarch at 92, having sat on the throne since 1952, that's 67 years. It's a name that has big shoes to fill. That said, in the case of both Diana and Elizabeth, Princess Charlotte has already snapped up those names, as her full name is Charlotte Elizabeth Diana. 3. Victoria. Slightly less likely, according to Ladbrokes, is Victoria, with 8-to-1 odds. But it's a name with a solid, memorable history that's current in the public mind, thanks in part to the PBS masterpiece series Victoria, which chronicles the life of the great British Queen. Queen Victoria is the second longest ruling monarch in British history, sitting on the throne from 1837 to 1901. She and her husband Prince Albert were said to have overseen a British Renaissance that ushered in a new era of artistic and scientific study. Boys. 1. Albert. Albert is the top pick for a boy, with 12-to-1 odds, same as Philip, below. The name was a favorite when William and Kate's third child, ultimately named Prince Louis, came along last year, and is memorable for many of the same reasons Victoria would be for a girl. Prince Albert, Queen Victoria's husband, championed many of the social and medical advances in Britain but sadly died at just 42, in 1861. 2. Philip. Much like Elizabeth, Philip recognizes a still living family member, Queen Elizabeth II's husband, Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, who is 92. Philip is part of the Greek and Danish royal family dynasties and has been married to Elizabeth since 1947. His son Charles, Prince of Wales, Harry and William's father, goes by Charles Philip Arthur George. 3. Arthur. King Arthur may have actually been a myth, but it's hard to find someone who hasn't at least heard about Camelot and the Knights of the Round Table, even if they're just Monty Python fans. But thanks to that legend, Arthur remains a popular name in reality too. It has the third best odds, currently 16-to-1, and tied with James, and is not currently associated with any other royal. James, on the other hand, is very common in modern times and threads its way throughout the royal family's history. Whatever name the new parents choose, however, the Queen usually has some say. The Queen has the power to say what their title is, royal commentator Kate Williams told The Independent in 2018, when Prince Louis' name was the subject of interest. But in the case of names, it is more of an informal conversation, she continued. Of course they have such respect for the Queen that if she says I really don't like that name, they definitely take that into account. And of course whatever the baby's name is, everyone hopes she, or he, will be happy and healthy.